Welcome to today's podcast with me, Victor Ebri, and today we are with Dr. Oye Oyelade. Thanks for creating our time with us, Dr. Oyelade.
Thank you for having me.
So, Oye Oyelade is an astute professional and chartered accountant who has built career in financial economy, audit practice, financial service provision, tax auditing, as well as public finance and accounting. His 27 years of professional practice span banking industry, private as well as public service. He is a public affairs analyst with a difference and has outstanding paper presentation and publication skills. He has published 5 papers in International Scorpius Index Journal and has presented many technical papers on financial intelligence, taxation, public finance, as well as international public sector accounting standards. His scholastic expenditure reached a stupendous point and a tranquilizing milestone when he backed his doctorate degree in accounting, PhD in accounting, specializing in taxation and financial economy with distinction in research methodology. Thank you for having us here, sir.
Thank you very much, Victor. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. So we are looking forward to all we are going to learn from our topic, why many Nigerians stay poor and how to escape. Okay, so we will just go straight into the questions for today. So, sir, growing up, who first taught you that money was something you could actually control, or did that lesson come later and hit you hard?
Well, thank you very much, Victor. Um, Very well said. I would like to say that the first set of lessons I got was actually from my parents. First set of lessons around financial intelligence, financial literacy, were from my parents.
Awesome.
And knowing fully well that even though money is something that is very desirable, you should not become subservient to money. Money is something that is very good because it has the tendency to make a positive impact upon the lives of men. That notwithstanding, you ought not to idolize money. You ought not to become subservient to money. You ought to work with money as an instrument in your hand that can be used to undertake several things that you want to do. So the first set of lessons actually came from my parents. And if you ask me, who is my role model, I can tell you that my parents is my role model. Not I didn't say my parents are my role model. I said my parents is my role model. Is in the sense that my father and mother are together and they speak with one voice.
Awesome.
And because of that, I can say they are my role model, and I've learned so much from them. It was from them I learned that there's a need for you to budget whatever you're going to spend. It was from them I also learned that it is not because you went out and you saw something and it became very attractive to you that you must purchase that thing. Not all that glitters is gold. Not all that you see and you get interested or excited about must be procured by you. Even if you have the resources and the wherewithal, you must do everything possible to ensure that you guard against impulsive buying. These lessons came directly from my parents. Thank you very much, Victor.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. I hope our audience will learn a lot and will pick a lot from what you have just shared with us. So, was there a book that cracked something open for you financially?
Okay, thank you very much. While growing up, like I said, my parents had already carved out a path for me. Growing up, I was interested in putting figures together, analyzing figures, and I said, what am I going to read in school? When they asked me, I said, I want to read accounting. When I was in primary school, I got to secondary school, they were still asking me, which course are you going to read in the university? And I said, I'm going to read accounting by the grace of God. One book that has actually shaped my thinking, and if you like, issues around financial intelligence and financial literacy is the Bible. The Bible is also a book. And if you look at Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6, it's talking about your path being directed by God, acknowledging Him in all your ways. Okay, so if I do not go into any investment without asking God, that is because that aspect of the scriptures had already shaped my thinking, shaped my intelligence, okay, shaped my way of doing things. So one book, if you ask me, that has actually helped in shaping the aspect of my life is the Bible. Whereas the interest I developed in accounting had also, it has gone far to help me in making up my mind on what I want to do, what I want to become in future, and what I wish I could impact upon the lives of others. Thank you very much.
Oh, awesome. That is really amazing. So the next question we have here for you is, someone is broke right now and their instinct is prayer, not a book, not a course, not a mentor. How do you speak to that person without dismissing what their faith means to them?
Well, if somebody is broke at this point in time, well, I wouldn't underplay the importance of faith in all that we do. Why? Because the solution to every challenges of life resides with God. The solution to every challenges of life resides with God. So if the instinct goes directly to God or to prayers, I wouldn't downplay the importance of that. That notwithstanding, if somebody is broke at any point in time, the first question I would want to ask is, what is responsible for a person being broke? What is responsible? The first question that person should ask himself or herself at that point is, what is responsible for it? Now, in trying to investigate to answer that question, you must also look at what are the remote causes, what are the immediate causes of being broke. I'll give you examples. Now, the immediate example may just be the immediate cause of somebody being broke may just be uncensored spending, or uncontrolled spending, or impulsive spending, or expenditure resulting from unforeseen circumstances. This may just be the immediate cause of somebody being broke. Meanwhile, we want to investigate further. Is there any remote cause of such a thing? The remote cause, for example, may just be that, okay, the financial income, or the income of such a person is what? Is constrained. There's financial constraint in terms of income. Maybe the income is inadequate. Maybe the income is inadequate. Whether you like it or not, you'll get broke at one point in time or the other. Are we flowing together? So at that point, I would like to say that the first thing to do is to look back what is responsible. If what is responsible in the immediate cause, talking about the immediate cause, is uncensored spending or uncontrolled spending, then such a person must be ready to control his spending. And one way through which you can control your spending to guide against impulsive spending and uncensored spending is what? Is through the budgeting process. So the first thing I would prefer as a chartered accountant and as a doctor of accounting is for you to operate what we call a simple plan or budgeting system. That will save you from a lot of embarrassment as far as finances is concerned. I'm sure we'll have the opportunity of going through the budgeting process so that we can know how it goes.
Oh,
Thank you
wow.
very much.
That is really amazing from you, sir. So the next question we have here is the African thing of providing for extended family a wealth killer, or can it coexist with personal financial growth? So what do you have to say, sir?
Well, talking about extended family system, the extended family system is already well enshrined into our culture. As Nigerians and as Africans, the extended family system is something that you cannot do anything about. As far as you are a Nigerian and as long as you're an African, you need to recognize the importance of the extended family system. And I'll give you examples. Now, it will be impossible for you to say, I want to stand alone. You can't stand alone. As an African, as a Nigerian, you cannot stand alone. God might have blessed you. You might have gone to school. You might be doing well in business or in profession. And you have the responsibility to help others. Your nieces might be calling you. Your nephews might be calling you from your village. They may be calling you. They may be saying, I need money for this. I need money for that. You cannot close your eyes to those things. That does not make you poor by any standard. Are we flowing together?
Yes.
I want us to know that the extended family system is not something that is totally bad. All we are saying is that as a young man that is just growing up, don't take your life, don't hang your life on your uncle, don't hang your life on your auntie, don't even hang your life on your parents. Do everything possible to stand alone. However, if God has helped you and you are doing well, you have a responsibility to extend that hand of support to other people. So for me, the extended family system is nothing bad. Okay? But that notwithstanding, we should not be under unnecessary pressure at the expense of our own well-being. We should not be under unnecessary pressure from extended family members in such a manner that it will now impact negatively on our home well-being. So we need to balance these things up. But extended family system is not tending towards poverty. Thank you very much.
So balancing is key.
Very, very key.
Okay. So that is really amazing. And then the next question we have here is, what is the one book you would force every Nigerian between 20 and 35 years old to read, and why that one?
Okay. Well, I would like Nigerians between 20 and 35 to read a book by Bishop David Oyedepo, Understanding Financial Prosperity.
Okay.
Now, so the book is Understanding Financial Prosperity, and is a book by Bishop David Oyedepo. And this book will go a long way to reorientate young Nigerians and Africans, okay, in the area of getting money, investing money, doing it the right way, and guiding against unnecessary, uncensored, and unbudgeted spending. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Thank you so much for also being here.
I don't know if I can say something on budgeting.
Okay, sir, you
Okay.
can go ahead.
Let
sir.
me go ahead and say something on budgeting, because the most important aspect of our life as humans is planning. The most important aspect of our lives is planning. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, budgeting is all about planning. What we call budgeting or budget is a financial plan.
Yes.
It may be a weekly or monthly or annual, or it may be a long-term plan. As a human, there is an expectation, there is a constructive obligation on our part to ensure that we go through the budgeting process, in that you operationalize the budgeting system in your own personal life. Okay, the government, prepares what we call an annual budget. As a person, you're supposed to also have either a daily or a weekly or a monthly or an annual or a long-term budget or plan, as the case may be. And there are certain things you must consider in preparing a financial plan. Now, the first thing that is extremely important is that for every financial plan, you must have what we call a statement of anticipated expenses and expected income. As a salary earner, let's say, for example, a young Nigerian of 25 or 27 or 35 that is earning 150,000 a month. Now, 150,000 per month is, of course, grossly inadequate as far as Nigerian economy is concerned at this point in time. That notwithstanding, you can still live a good life with 150,000. And I'll tell you how that can happen. Now, the first thing is to prepare a budget that gives you an idea of your expected income and anticipated expenses. That's not going to be difficult. You don't need an accountant to do that. My income is 150,000 per month, and my expenses are the following. So that's very, very important. The second most important aspect of it is you must draw up what we call a scale of preference. A scale of preference, articulates your needs in its most desirable manner. What is most important to you? The ones that are more important are up, while the ones that are less important are down. So you prepare what we call a scale of preference. If your salary is 150,000 in a month, it therefore means that you might do away with the less important ones and make do with the more important ones for the time being, pending the time the economy will improve. Another thing is that all plans should include provision for savings on a monthly basis. Now, the first question in Nigeria will ask me, as a financial analyst and as a man that is versed in financial intelligence, is how can you tell me to save when my salary is just 150,000? Now, the best way to go around it is to save at least, you can save 10,000 or 20,000 from 150,000 every month. If it becomes so difficult to do that, then you go borrowing. As an accountant, I can tell you that there are advantages in going for loans. Go for loans. There is nothing wrong with it. The reason being that you must have savings. Without savings, there is no investment. For you to be able to invest in future, you need to have what we call a level of savings. And if it becomes so difficult for you by the reason of financial constraint or by the reason of the limitation of your income, if it becomes impossible for you to save, then you need to borrow. When you borrow, they deduct directly from your monthly pay. Before it gets to you, it's already deducted. So whatever gets to you is what you manage. So when you go for loan, then what you're also doing is that you are cutting your quotes according to your growth. Another thing is that consider obtaining a loan. We have said that. And then when you obtain a loan, make sure the loan you get is from either your office cooperative or a salary loan from a licensed bank. For these two, office cooperative or licensed bank salary loan, the interest rate is very, very low. So it's manageable. Okay, so consider getting a loan. It's not a sin. And for accountants know that getting a loan is very good for business, for doing, if it's your personal business, whatever it is, loan is not something that is bad. Again, consider going into tested and trusted investment schemes. Okay, when you have been able to save, or if you have been able to obtain a loan, then you can deploy that loan towards an investment that is tested and trusted, not a Ponzi scheme. You can go into investment that is tested and trusted. And the best way to minimize your risk, because the first question in Nigeria will want to ask me is, if I go into it and it fails, who will be responsible? Okay, the best way to minimize your risk of loss is to indulge in in-depth research and investigation to equip yourself with sufficient information around your area of interest. Gather information, go into research, do investigation before you go into it. And most importantly, go into what we call spiritual investigation. Through that, the Holy Spirit will be telling you, remove your hand from that or dabble into it. Don't dabble into it. That's spiritual investigation. Okay, so that also will help you to minimize your level of risk and then guide against the temptation of impulsive buying or unbudgeted expenses. Guide against the temptation of impulsive buying or unbudgeted expenses. Once it is not good enough to form part of your budget, then it is not good enough for you to attend to that expense. If it is not budgeted for, don't attend to it. The only thing that can make you attend to an unbudgeted expense is if the expense, came as a result of probably an omission, an error of omission. And it has now been discovered that, okay, this thing is needed. It was initially omitted from my budget. And it will cause one harm or the other if I do not attend to this expense. It is only under that condition you can now attend to an unbudgeted expense. So if you can go through these steps, if you can do all of this, you will be much better for it. That's the way of escape. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for being here and for sharing these words of wisdom with us. We are very grateful. And to everyone watching out there, we know you have learned a lot from these words, and we know that from here you are going to take your finance from one step to the next step, onto the next step, and onto the next step. So if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, follow us, and share the link, and we will see you at the top. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for having us.
Thank you very much, Victor. God bless you.
Thank you.